Mike McFarland here, the Lake Fork Fishing Guide. Going to give you guys a rundown for the first week of September. It is 9/6/2022. I woke up this morning and I wrote a check, and I actually dated it 2020. That's what the chuckle's about, really. Just can't believe how fast time flies. It's 2022, September 6th, 2022. Let's tell you about the lake. The last few days, things kind of been hot. Water's still pushing in the low 80s, 80 degrees to 85 degrees. 0 to 2 foot visibility, depends on what part of the lake you are on. Most of it's pretty clear, good color, good healthy lake. 39741 yesterday, 39736 today. The lake's dropping. We're back to dropping at that almost a half an inch a day rate. But I suspect that should change here really soon. The weather outlook for the next 7 to 10 days is 60s and 80s, upper 80s for the high, upper 60s for the low. Things are cooling down, and we get a little bit cooler. We get this water below the 80 degrees, and these fish are really going to fire up. We've had that fresh water change in a few things, and the fish have been in 0 to 22 feet of water. Been catching them on a lot of different things, top waters, big worms, still, array of things. I saw a post the other day of somebody caught them really good on deep crankbaits. And that's just because that heavy rain and the 2 foot of fresh water made the entire water column usable. So from 0 to 20 feet, fish are biting. You just they're scattered. And so, for example, there was a top water bite last week. One evening, really good bite, and the next day it was obsolete. And same areas, no one particular area, just random roaming, cruising fish. So, don't be afraid of fork right now. It's in a transition, and that's okay. Okay. The Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash is coming. It's going to fish really well, especially with what I see the weather outlook that's coming. Two things I wanted to discuss with you on this particular rundown was, one, thanks for watching the Broken Bow rundown. We did it right there in the river, in the spillway right below Broken Bow. It was a really fun trip. Got to catch some trout. Did not hook up with any brown trout, but we caught plenty of trout, caught some really nice rainbows. In fact, even took some rainbows home and baked some rainbows, had some really nice lemon herb rainbow trout and wild rice. It was delicious. But thanks for watching the last rundown. I try and keep my word with you no matter where I'm at. I'm still going to give you some kind of Lake Fork information. With the Seeley event coming and the Berkeley event following it here in October, there's a few things I want to share with you. I had a great father and son trip just the other day. And I had a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old and their father. And neither of the young boys had ever used a bait caster, so we taught them how to use a bait caster. And that was kind of the gist of most of the trip, was teaching them how to be a big boy or a young man. You don't fish Lake Fork for the Lake Fork specials and the big fish with a spinning rod. It's like going bear hunting with a BB gun. If you're tournament fishing and you're looking for the unders, under 16 inches, you might target with a spinning rod. But you want to catch a big fish, you need to have the right gear. And so it was really cool to take the father, sons, the two boys, and coach them and teach them. And we ended up catching some really nice fish. And me and the 5-year-old caught the biggest fish. And it really, the fish were about 5 to 8 feet of water on brush piles. So I want to tell you that with the Bob Seeley event coming and the Berkeley event coming, one of the best ways to catch these fish is with the Berkeley power baits. It doesn't matter whether it's a 7-inch worm, 8-inch worm, 10-inch worm. There's variations of the sizes, variations of different baits, creature baits. I think they even have their version of a Cinco. I think they call it I forgot what it's called right now, but the Berkeley power bait line is really something that I go to in the fall. It's a good line of baits, period. I use it all year long. I don't go to it just because the Berkeley event's coming. There's something about the Berkeley bait, the scented bait, and the fall. So the max scent, which I don't have in my hands out here, the max scent is even better. You'll see a lot of the pros that really, the elite pros, the MLF pros, they really depend on that max scent to catch more fish, get better bites, and even get bites from inactive fish. And I think that's kind of why I like the power bait line in the fall, is because there's a lot of inactive fish. It's early fall, I should say. It's late summer transitioning into early fall. They've been hot all summer. Like the fish we caught the other day, actually, we had a thunderstorm come through the day before. They fed really good before the thunderstorm, and the fish were full. Their bellies were full. In fact, one of the big 5-pounders had a tail of a giant gizzard shad sticking out his throat. It didn't have any more room for food. So it wasn't going to chase. It wasn't going hunting for food, but it was going to eat the Berkley power worm when it came right by. So the Berkley line of baits is really, really terrific. And again, you've got the Berkley event coming here in October. So a couple things. The 7-inch and the 8, and I believe this is 8.5. The 7-inch and the 8.5 are generally my favorites. Just because you downsize to the 7-inch, don't think the big fish won't eat it. It's really hard to fish all summer long with this big 10-inch and 12-inch and giant mag worms. You're throwing all this big stuff, catching these big fish, and then all of a sudden here in September and October, you downsize to this little tiny worm, and your confidence, at least for me, kind of goes, man, I don't think these big fish are going to eat it. They do eat it. The best colors are going to be your blue fleck, your purple, your black grape, your red shad. I like a purple firetail, if you can get a hold of a purple firetail. But the other day we caught him well on the blue fleck, 8.5-inch, and we Texas rigged it. And it really, again, it's a go-to for me in the fall. So Lake Fork is going to continue dropping. We need to pray for more rain. It doesn't look like we have rain in the outlook, but we have cool trend. We need the water just as much as we need the cool trend. If you're looking to book, by now most everything is taken up. I do have Monday, I think it's going to be the 12th. I have Monday the 12th available, and I have a little bit of room, I think, on the 13th for an afternoon half-day trip. If you want to be shown where to fish, how to catch these fish, and how to potentially catch a check and or win the big bass flash, hit me up. Take advantage of one of those trips. Monday the 12th, or either morning or afternoon, and Tuesday the 13th in the afternoon. I tell on the members only locations. Today I'm telling you guys baits, but I'm not giving you locations. You might be able to see this little thing right here. You may not. I'm kind of in a way hoping you can. But I've got some baits that I'm about to show the members that are some of the favorites, some of my absolute favorites besides power bait when the fall transition happens, and how to really clean up on the unders, how to catch a lot of fish, and yes, you will catch the big ones too. So right now, this bait's right here, I'm going to kind of probe you guys to become members only. I'm about ready to shoot a members only rundown. In that members only rundown, I'm going to tell them about these special baits. I'm also going to tell them the locations and how I use those baits in detail. A little more detail than I give publicly. But anyways, and also I'm going to talk about these power baits with a little more detail, show the actual rig, show what I do, talk about how I fish it. It's really important how I fish that bait in the members as well. So this is your invite. Please, if you're not a member, I'm grateful that you subscribe publicly, but come on over to the members only channel. It's $4.99 a month. You can't go wrong. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Do 1 month. Give yourself a shot. 1 month. Give me a shot. 1 month. You get 8 shows. 8 shows for $4.99 where I spill my guts as a fishing guide and I tell you exactly what McFarland Fishing and Lake Fork guys are doing on the lake. The Lake Fork Guide right here. Okay? That's it. So, again, I'm grateful for you watching the Broken Bow, a little trip with Brooke and I. Brooke caught a lot of fish down there and probably caught more than I did. But it was a good time. That's about all I got for you. If you have any questions, comment below. Hit the like button. Always appreciate you doing that. And I don't know if publicly there is a super thanks, but hey, maybe if there is, somebody hit that super thanks and surprise me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Fishing Guide.